Welcome to Made to Play, where someone is made to play a game. Today, my guest is Chris, and he's going to make me play Gunpoint. The first order of business, Chris, say hello and then explain why you chose this game.
Hello again. So I chose this game because it's kind of a nice pairing with the one that I had you play the first time I was on Ronin. So Ronin was kind of pseudo inspired by this game, I hear, and they have some common DNA for sure. Although this is definitely a much more well-known game than Ronin and more substantial in length. But yeah, this is a Tom Francis game, who is become one of my favorite indie game designers. I think I mentioned that on Ronin as well. And it is the first game in a trilogy of games called the Defenestration trilogy, which is the third one isn't out yet, but I adore both the first two and can't wait for the third one. So I look forward to making you play those at some point.
Okay. So my initial reaction to this game, having opened it up to set stuff up, and get the recording going and all that, is that it suffers from very similar scaling issues to Ronin. I was a little worried that it was going to upscale badly and look really bad in the video, but it's looking like maybe that's okay. Um, and it does
So
play in full screen and look like that works, although I'm in a really low resolution for my screen. Um, it also is one of those games that just pumps you right into the game. So we're here. I hit the pause so that I could
uh-huh.
start a new game from scratch because it doesn't
Sounds
have a
good.
main menu.
Yeah, so I could probably shed a little light on that. So Tom Francis, the guy that made this, this was actually his first ever effort in making a video game. Like he knew nothing about making video games when he made this, and so it is made in, I think it's called like Game Maker or something like that. So
That is
it's
correct. Yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of a I mean, obviously low budget, but kind of low fidelity in every way kind of production. But I think it has a lot of merit outside that, and there's a reason why each of his games since then has gotten much more complex and a lot of attention because this game really showed he's a pretty talented designer.
All right. So let's hit the new game from scratch. Yeah, it'll wipe all my saves. My save of having been thrown through this window. No, somebody else was thrown through this window. No, that looks like that's the main character, trench coat and hat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Answer my phone. So this is this lady right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talking? All right.
Mm-hmm. You'll notice pretty quickly that this game strikes a really fun balance between sort of this sort of noir aesthetic and like very kind of slapstick humor, which is an interesting pairing.
Yeah. Try to move on. I'm perfectly okay. Oh, okay. These aren't doing what I was expecting. Should just read the controls instead of. Oh. Oh. Well, that's too bad. I would prefer not to be on camera if I can avoid it, but it's looking like maybe these are all locked. No, don't jump. Only the guards can use it. Oh, I should be able to hack it.
Indeed. It's been a long time since I played this, but I really, really enjoyed it.
I'm okay.
Kind of plays out like a classic detective story.
I just fell 4 stories. It's fine. Oh,
It'll
I
make
can't even.
sense.
Huh. Thought for sure I'd be able to interact with her. I guess it was a waste of time to even go up.
Hyper trousers are
I
the
see.
best.
So he didn't get thrown out. He jumped out. That's fair. That's very important equipment for a private eye. The ability to jump through windows, ceilings.
It's definitely some Inspector Gadget inspiration, I think.
Yeah. Ooh, we are. I should have adjusted the volume down way lower. This is coming across real loud. So we're gonna get through this menu and then we'll be able to talk again after that. Most likely this music is gonna override us otherwise.
Alright.
Okay. See if I
Text dialogue probably isn't the best sort of thing for a show like this, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's fairly inconsequential, but it is clever writing. It's fun.
That looks like that maybe at a good level. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I didn't even ask her why she couldn't do it remotely. You know, I'm just gonna go do it.
I think that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, the dialogue trees, they all kind of more or less end up in the same place if memory serves correctly. It's just for fun and to draw you into the story.
Right.
It's not a true, like, branching path RPG kind of thing.
And for full disclosure, I do listen to a podcast about video games that has talked about this game.
Oh, okay.
Some. So I do know a little bit about like there's multiple, ends up being like multiple factions playing you against each other, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
but
spoiler.
Right. But I don't remember who those factions are, or who I can trust or not trust. I just remember that little bit.
Gotcha.
Because it's been a while since I listened to that episode.
Did they have fairly positive things to say about this game as well?
Yeah, they did.
I have a hard time imagining anyone not really at least admitting that it's good at what it's trying to do.
Right. And that's actually that podcast specifically, and I may as well just say it's called Watch Out for Fireballs, and they used to be a retro gaming podcast, but now it's more like just a games club podcast. One of the hosts, who lives in Portland, right across the river from me, actually, he often asks the question, "What is it trying to do? Does it do that, and is that worth doing?" Right? So, with a game like this, it seems like it would be the second question, you know, is it worth, or does it accomplish that? Is probably a yes. And then, is it worth doing? I don't remember his answer on this specific game, or if that question even came up.
Yeah, that's still interesting, though. That's more or less the same wording that I use.
Yeah,
it's funny.
And I think that's an important question for a lot of art, especially that third part. Is it worth doing? Because you can say, I'm making this art to create anger, and it accomplishes that. But was it worth it? Like, is that something we needed to do? Right?
Exactly. you even always have the option to just end these calls prematurely if you don't want to go through the conversation trees, which totally, like I said, they're fine, but understandable. And they never carry on too long anyway.
Right.
She likes to hang up on you and leave you hanging.
Yeah. See, I remember them talking about this being like an expensive thing that changes the game quite a bit. Alright, well, after this mission, if I get paid, I'll be able to afford this if I want to come in and buy that, I guess. Okay, let's accept this mission. See if I get paid. Oh jeez, I already accepted. Okay. It is kind of annoying that I have a phone call that ends, I accept the mission, and I'm right back into the phone call, instead of... I guess I'll have a list of missions later.
Yeah.
So, that makes sense. But right now it just feels like, why didn't we just finish this conversation at the time?
Exactly. I had actually kind of forgotten that the structure of it was like that. I remembered it being a little more linear, but I think there is maybe some branching to the order that you can go about completing the story.
Well, that was not on purpose.
So it was a good tactic.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not nearly as action gamey as Ronin, but it
Yeah.
has a lot of similar DNA and like sort of the jumping mechanics and obviously the 2D side scrolling and the climbing on walls and all that kind of stuff. But it's got a lot more story and a lot more kind of building your character with, you know, what abilities you unlock and how many pips you put into, you know, your jump strength and all that kind of stuff. So I was telling you that this is the first game in what's called the defenestration series. Are you familiar with the word defenestration? Do you know what that means?
I do not.
So I think it's hilarious that he names it this because it's such an unused word, and the only reason I know what fenestration is because in real life I'm an architect, and fenestration just means like, you know, like the mullions and window frames and glass of a building facade. And so
Okay.
defenestration basically means like breaking windows with, you know, people flying through them.
Right.
That's kind of the theme between all three games in the series, which is such a ridiculous thing. Because when you eventually play the second game in the series, you'll see they have almost nothing else in common other than the fact that there is a lot of bodies flying through windows.
Huh.
The second game is a top-down game that takes place far in the future in space.
Oh. So I was thinking about like saving up, but they actually lock the. He put missions behind the things in the order that you're going to buy them. It looks like.
For sure.
So, he could have just.
I think eventually you have a little bit of choice in the order, but at the beginning, as it gets some momentum rolling, it's really not so much an option.
Right. Okay, well, let's do this.
You're a computer hacker now.
I guess so.
It's a pretty simple mechanic, but it gets quite complicated later in the game when you have a million things that you can rewire, and you have to figure out just how to stitch it all together so that you can do everything that you need to do in your giant skyscraper or whatever.
Oops. Fair enough.
Hacking in video games is another little thing that I have a soft spot for. It's always fun when they come up with fun little mini games to do the hacking.
Yeah. This it's nice that this game tutorializes through missions rather than giving you an info dump of all the stuff.
Oh yeah,
So you
for
do
sure.
a quick little mission that just introduces the one new thing you need to know.
Totally agree. I much prefer that in most cases. Learn by doing.
Yeah. Alright, oh, it just flashed my objective.
So I got a question for you, Levi. Part of the reason I also chose this game is because I was looking through your Steam collection and saw that you already owned it, and I didn't have to make you go buy something that you may or may not like or want. I didn't feel too bad about Ronin since it was so cheap, but why did you, or how long have you had this game, and why do you think you never picked it up?
I don't know, would have gotten it in a bundle at some point. So, it's possible I've had it for quite a while.
And do you think you were actively avoiding it, or just kind of didn't realize you had it, or didn't aware? I mean, you said you'd heard about the game on a podcast.
Yeah, I just didn't really have any interest in it when I looked at it. I don't know.
Gotcha.
It didn't attract me.
No particular. You weren't actively avoiding it. You just other things were shinier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to remember why I played it first, because honestly I can't remember. I probably should have thought about that before I got on here to record, but yeah, it kind of goes with saying, like, some of my favorite gaming experiences have been games that I didn't necessarily initially think I was going to like that much.
Yeah.
And I guess I should clarify that I remember thinking that about this one when I played it early, but I can't recall how I found out about it or why I started playing it. I might have got it for free or something somehow from some giveaway or something like that. But it would have been, gosh, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago at least. Because I think I played Ronin the first time like 2 or 3 years ago, and this was a couple years before that. So for me, I mean, I'm not totally sure what year this was made, but I mean, it could be even 10 years old. And I don't think it's any older than that. But
This one came out in 2013.
Okay.
June of 2013. Ronin came out in June of 2015.
Okay, that adds up. That seems. I probably played this after it had been out for 2 years or something.
Alright. So, now things... Ooh, okay. So, does he see me through that? Yep. Alright. So what about a shorter jump? Oh, saw that too.
Yeah, it's a little deceiving. It looks like you're seeing a cone of vision, but you're really just seeing light emitting.
Oh. That was
I love
slick.
that slide. Yeah, so great. I love how both of us are just immediately like, that slide. That's awesome.
Alright. I feel like to do what I was thinking about doing here, I would need a switch in the room I'm in. Oh, I keep doing that instead of hitting the wheel.
Oh, there is a switch in the room you're in.
Oh, I must have been standing in front of it.
Well, you have 2 switches. There's also the one from the door you went flying through.
Well, that's a red hand scanner. I can't use those.
Gotcha. That's right. I forgot about those.
And this can't connect to more than one thing. But what if I Rube Goldberg this and turn his lights off? And when he goes to turn his lights back on, he can't.
It's great.
So now he's in the dark. What? Oh, because he was facing me and he managed to see me in time. Alright.
Yep.
Well, I can do this now that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think you have the right approach. You just gotta do it when his back's turned.
Oh. Did he see me and shoot me? That must be what happened. I got to
I
the
didn't
edge.
even notice. I was looking over at the guy that shot you in the previous attempt.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Alright, so back to the same room.
One good critique of this game is it doesn't have very good visual representation of what's happening in the action sometimes. Like the bullets are almost invisible and...
Oh, I made the same mistake as last time. I tried to go in that door instead of down the stairs. But it looks like he's going to wander back and forth, which will give me the chance I need.
punch.
Okay. And I have to do this on 3 computers because she backed up her backup. She's got a real backup problem. Okay. I can get him in the dark. Oop. Okay, I couldn't see the switch that he used. So let's have him do that. So he's gonna just stay stopped at that door now that it's closed again. Huh. Oops. But that's no big deal because I can go down this elevator now. So let's get him in the dark. Wait, what is that?
Power socket.
Disconnect that. So now if I hit the call button on the elevator... Oh, I didn't... Okay, it did. Nice. Oh, that didn't electrocute him.
Maybe he didn't get close enough.
Well, he flipped the switch.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Weird. Well, that's disappointing. I was a little worried about the timing on that, but I got it.
Yeah, it's definitely a little clunkier in the implementation of some of the controls for movement and even just the animation of the character, how he moves and stuff. Although that slide when he lands is nice.
Yeah. Okay. So I actually, I'm enjoying this more than Ronin by quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
I prefer the very puzzly nature of it over the
Hmm.
fight as puzzle nature of Ronin, I think.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
And I mean, you've seen me play, or not seen me play, but you're aware that I've played games like that Alchemy game.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Right, so I really enjoy piecing things together. It's why I enjoy things like Satisfactory and Factorio.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I think you and I both love puzzles.
Yeah. So this definitely appeals to that.
Yep, it's really just kind of a little adventure story game wrapped around what's a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Or little adventure story window dressing wrapped around a puzzle game.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that you never got to, and I kind of kicked myself after we recorded the Ronin episode for not suggesting this at the time, but you only played like one chapter of the 5, but I wished I had recommended to you to buy a particular skill first rather than the katana throwing one that would have made it feel a bit more like this, which one of the other tracks of skills that you can start down, the first one in the track you can buy, allows you to stealth kill, which prevents you from getting into the combat situations as much, and that it gives you more of a choice about when to get into a combat puzzle as opposed to when you just want to keep things stealthy, and yeah, that ability is so cool. Like in that one you can hand over hand crawl across the ceiling above someone, and then you can just like drop a noose down and yank them up to the ceiling and hang them, and they are never aware that you were there, and you can it totally changes the way you can approach a lot of those puzzles and gives you a lot more options. So if you ever do play more of that one, highly recommend buying that as your next skill, because I think you would enjoy that game more with that in your arsenal.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Makes it a bit more like this one where you're, turning off the lights and neutralizing people.
All right. So I'm thinking.
Look at that horse art, man.
Yeah. I'm thinking that what we're going to do is this one more mission.
Sounds good.
And finish out on the first mission that's not from Rook or Rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Rook?
I think it's Rook.
Yeah. And keep this episode a little bit shorter and see if that plays well with my audience.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. You know best.
Well, I don't. That's why we're experimenting. Use the mouse. So this is what newer technology, so I can't hack it with the other skill.
I honestly don't remember. I wasn't paying attention when you were in the in-between menu screen there. I don't remember the difference. Oh, you know what it is? I think there's just different circuits. So eventually you can have like 4 different colors, and they're just only compatible with the same color. There's red circuits, green circuits, blue, and yellow, or something like that.
Huh.
So green switches can only work with green circuits.
It's really weird that nothing is accessible. I feel like I may have missed it. Use the mouse to pan across the yeah. Doing that. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Or you just try walking in the front door.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm trying to remember. for some help here on what to do.
No connection. Nothing will open it. Camera's not connected to anything. I'm not able to change any circuits. I can highlight everything. Hold on. Okay. Yep. Nothing very useful to me. I wonder if I missed something when I was scanning quickly through the instructions for this.
Is the back door nothing you can interact with either?
Yeah, I wasn't able to.
Try moving on to the next building. Maybe you can. Oh no, that's already.
It's the
in the
subway.
level. Okay, we're definitely missing something.
Yeah. That's weird. I feel like is abort mission gonna start over?
It doesn't start this mission over.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see if I missed something in his explanation or if.
Yeah, we were kind of talking and probably just clicked through something that explained something.
Yeah. So
And it's been too long since I played to remember.
so this I have to be able to get to the circuit box with the wire jack
the
to
wire
use
jack.
crosslink. That's why I was
Mouse over wire jack again? What's it say? Oh. So enables crosslink on protected circuits when placed on the circuit box. Okay.
Yeah. So I have to get down into that basement somehow to be able to control circuits in that building.
You can just hit start mission this time.
Well, I'm kind of curious if
Oh, if
he
it's
did say
explained
anything
here.
near the end. Or she, I guess. So I say, what can I do? And then I don't think I read. Yeah, see, I hit start mission before getting to the last part.
Gotcha.
I said we should be forgiving of everyone, and then I thought it was done, and I hit start mission. Okay, so the goal here is just to hear what he's saying on the phone, but that doesn't help us with our, what do we do? Problem. Okay, I don't even see access to the basement, so it's these stairs that I wasn't able to see in that mode. So reverse engineer this. There's no windows, because
It's a bunker.
no windows. To get to the stairs, I'd have to either come in this door or these doors.
Can you rewire the camera?
No, because it's not linked to anything. Wait. Oh! There it is.
Okay.
Okay. So now I've been on camera, though, and that's not great. Nope.
But you are wearing a trench coat and a fedora, so you're probably alright.
Yeah, probably. And it's a real fedora, too, so it covers some of the face. Okay, so now I can mess with green circuits.
Yeah, I just remembered all of a sudden when we were stumped there. I was like, oh yeah, you can make cameras trigger switches too, rather than alarms and such.
If I rewire this now, does that undo? Nope. Oh, but that didn't open that door. Oh, that's a motion detector.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I believe as long as it's powered, you will be able to go through there.
What I don't want it to do is close this door, because that's what it was intended to do.
Quit hitting that button.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit escape to get out of that menu every time, or that mode every time. Okay, fair enough. Oh, that door is closed, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I had to do.
Yeah. Pretty simple. So this game's quite a bit longer than Ronin, and it has kind of a steady curve as far as the complexity of how things go.
Yeah, so my final thoughts on this is that I liked it, and I'm much more likely to finish playing it because the technology problems that this one has with resolution don't prevent things from showing up in the right place, right?
Oh yeah, that was really obnoxious with the other one.
So there's no barrier on this one to keep me from continuing to play it, and
that's great to hear, because I think you'll really like it. It's not super long, it's just Ronin was just super short.
Gotcha.
This is a pretty small game still, so it's not a huge investment of time.
Yeah, so there's a good chance I'm going to finish this. I might even record my playthrough.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I'd watch it.
I've done that with a couple other games.
Nice.
I think. Well, no. Okay, so I had Matt play Little Nightmares, and then I played the rest of Little Nightmares.
Oh, that's... I remember that.
But, yeah, if I do finish it, which I think I'm going to, I'll probably record the rest for the show.
Awesome. I've got you on tape.
Yeah, you'll be able to put back this. Maybe I'll edit it out. Because I've got me on tape, and I control the tape.
But I'm not your editor?
No. Do you want to be?
No. I don't got time for that.
Yeah. I don't have time for that. It slows down the release of videos. I know that, and I don't know, this is like YouTube shop talk, I guess, but I know if you can just release like multiple videos a day, just spam videos, that you can grow your channel pretty quickly for some reason, because I don't know, more people see more videos. Yeah. And I'm just not willing to spam a bunch of short, cruddy videos and try to grow my channel.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Although maybe you might consider just splitting some of your content into smaller features and having, maybe little 3 or 4 video sequence series or something, if that really does help you get viewership.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. I have a whole bunch of struggling recorded right now. This is so off topic. A whole bunch of struggling recorded right now that I have to cut into smaller pieces because it's like 3 hours of footage.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
no
good.
Are you going to start featuring your flashy new music that you showed me?
Yeah, so that is on
one that hasn't dropped yet?
No, one that did. The last episode of Struggling has the intro music and an outro where I do all of my, hey, check out my other stuff.
Nice, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, which is why we're not actually going to do that. We're going to end after I ask you this question. Do you have anything you want to pitch?
Yeah, go watch that episode with Ronin. It's a really cool game.
Pitching another
some views.
Pitching another episode.
That's all I got, man.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
You got to start growing your own, social media empire.
I think there's a sporting event going on today that people seem to like.
What is that? It's like the Mega Cup.
The Superb Owl.
Superb Owl. Is that a Chris original, or did you get that from somewhere?
I think I heard a grandpa say that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming, Chris.
Yeah, it was fun. See you around, Levi.
All right, see ya. Sammy Zai here. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, you should like and subscribe. Maybe ring the bell if you want to know when I post a new episode. Depending on how much time I have to play games and do the editing, I post about a video a week, a little more. Newest video should be right here, just appearing in a box there, because that's how this works. And then there'll be a playlist right down here. And I think you may have heard the cat. She has been trying to be a part of this whole time. And that's her. She's old, and she's cranky, and she wants attention all the time. Yeah.